Last attempt. Went on a rare tangent. Anyway, okay, kit tour part. Just clean my camera. Anyway, kit tour part 2. Not part 2, but part 20, whatever you want to say. Why am I doing this? Because I can send it to people because I'm lazy. That's why. Drum set itself 12 by 9, 13 by 10, 22 by 16, 14 by 14, 15 by 15. The stock snare is a 14 by 5. I got my Franken snare on there, which I'll talk about. But we're on the topic of drum set. I'll talk about how much of a good kit it is and how I'm going to upgrade it. And I guess I could tell you my dream sizes. Similar sizes for the rack toms. A little inch deeper because I really like 13 by 11s. My gigging kit has one. And those things are powerful. I want a 15 instead of a 14 because 14s are too small for a main floor tom. For floor toms in my opinion, unless you're playing jazz. 15, that's a 16 by 16. And then on the left, I'd like an 18 by 10 concert floor tom thingy. Because, this is my dream kit, and it's pearl. So they'll do about anything you want them to do. Two 24 by 16s because the 22 is great, but I just want more beef, and I love big bass drums. And like a 24 is like that nice in-between size, which I'm a fan of, like 13s over here. Like, I love those as my main rack tom. Like, if I'm going to have just two toms, I want a 13 and a 16. Enough size difference, but still, it's still got some beef because it's a 13, but 12s are too small. 14s are too big. So, the rack is an aquarium, not aquarium, I'm stupid. It's a Gibraltar Road Series. If you can't tell by the Gibraltar thingy that always seems to go down no matter how many times I fix it. Gibraltar. Various Mapex and Gibraltar and pearl stands. Behind here, the Franken snare I was talking about. It's a 14 by 6.5. It has various pieces and odds and ends put together. If you want to know the exact details, go watch the other one. I'm kidding. It's Tama hoop on the top, pearl hoop on the bottom, various slugs, TW, mag throw out, Tama butt plate, yada yada yada. It's a Franken snare. Aquarium high velocity on the top, best damn snare heads ever. Evans Reso 7 on the bottom, pure sound 30 strand wires, the works. E-kit is an Elisa's DM10. Got it for free from my best friend. It is what it is. It's an E-kit. Pretty sure the triggers are out of date. They're not the best, but I only use it for stuff that I don't really need dynamics for, like, 80s pop. So, but it's still fun to have. Crash pads, hi-hat pads, it's an E-kit. This thing is weird. I have to plug it into my bass amp, which I don't have right now, and run that into there, and then run my in-ears into that so I could actually hear it. And on the plus side, you can actually use these with all this mixed in, and it doesn't sound weird. 16 by 6.5 pancake drum was a homemade project made from a 16-inch floor tom that from my first kit, cut it down, put pearls hardware on it, and I have an Evans E-mat on it, and it sounds awesome. Speaking of awesome, the Gretsch Mighty Mini. It definitely is a Mighty Mini snare. It is. I've always loved popcorn snares. It's the best one. Finally found a good tuning range. I could explain them. Best way I can describe it is not too high, not too low, but not medium. It's like in that weird Goldilocks zone, but it sounds great with the snares off, kind of like a timbale sound. Then you put it on, and it's just a great snare sound. These things are awesome. 6-inch and 8-inch Tama mini steel timbales. Originally I had, my brain's not working, homemade Octobons, but those broke, so I got these as a gift, which was really sweet. My grandfather, because we worked on those Octobons, and he felt so bad that they broke, so he surprised me with these. But they're awesome. Worked my ass off for all these cymbals, but Simple and 18-inch explosion fast crash. I call it my light crash. It's the far left crash. It gets used when I need something softer or accents, and unironically, the bell's great. So I also use the bell on it a lot, especially if I'm on the electric kit. Um, 18 is the smallest I'll ever go for a crash, but it's a great crash. It lives up to its name. It is fast. Best damn crash on the market. I'm going to be saying and mincing my words a lot. Be prepared for that. 18-inch B8X ballistic crash. Better than any ozone I've ever played. The best way I can describe it is punchy. It is brutal. Like, nothing else can replace it. I highly recommend them. Plus, it's $90, so that doesn't hurt either. But I think the fact that it's made out of like the cheaper B8 adds to the sound. 19-inch AX Dark Crash. I love this thing. It is a perfect main crash. It's got great stick definition, which has become important to me in crashes or something. So when you ride on top of it, but it's got an amazing crash sound, and it's thin, but a little thicker than my other crash, but it's still thin. Even though it's a dark crash, it's really not dark. And I know the ones made in Brilliant were rare, so I got it for a steal. I got it on Reverb for like $100-something. It was my birthday present to myself because I made a bunch of money the week. Nah, I'm not gonna go into how I got it. None of your business. But overall, it's a great crash, and the bell's great, even though I can't really hit it because of the splash on top of it. Which, speaking of that, that is a Sabian B8 splash, 6-inch. Got it for free from my friend. I don't know why, but it sounds great upside down. It's one of life's mystery. It does not sound good the other way around. It's like a splash in a cup trying out a baby. 14-inch AA regular hats. These things are great. Too small for me, eh? I'm going to upgrade to my dream hats down the road, which are 15-inch AX Freak hats, but these are still nice. I'll never get rid of them. They're vintage, and I still play or have fun with them. 10-inch XSR Splash. Also going to get replaced down the road with probably going to sell it once I do, but a 10-inch Paragon. Maybe I won't sell it because I did work my ass off to get it, but that's down the road. This thing's awesome. Got it for $30, just a stack with a mini China and put holes in it because why not, and found that it sounds fucking amazing. So I use that instead of a stack in that spot, and it is just awesome. Again, down the road, I'll probably get a 12-inch AX Aero Splash, but this thing is just as good. I know I talk a lot about upgrading. Let's be real, we all have goals as drummers. Like, I'm going to get this down the road or that. But, this thing is my baby. I will be buried with this ride. You'd have to pry it from my dead hands. It's a 22-inch AA Metal X ride. It is 10 pounds of pure badassery. It's got the best stick sound a ride could ever have. Nice and pingy, but still has a nice, high, pretty tone underneath it. Like, it's just elegant, pingy and glossy. The bell is just cutting and cuts through anything ever, but also just sounds amazing. And it's a big bell, but not like a mega bell. And it's unlathed, which I really love in a bell, but it's buffed, which I also really love. It's got some interesting big-ass laving. Like, you got the regular lathe, but then it's got giant lathes in it, which adds to a really cool sound. And I clean it sparingly just to keep the logo, but, I like to clean my Brilliant cymbals to keep them from changing their sound too much. Because I got them for that sound specifically. Keep going up. 20-inch XSR Fast Crash. Like I said in the last tour, this is the best damn 20-inch crash ever. It beat out all the other high-end crashes that I was going to get. And this thing is just as good as any AAX, HHX, HH, or Artisan you could buy. This thing is just a phenomenal. It's everything I want with 20 crash. And 20-inch crashes are like the perfect right side crash. Anything feels too small. It's got amazing stick sound. Like, you can hear the stick, but it still crashes, but it's thin. Like, I really like in a crash, but not too thin like this thing. And it is just phenomenal, and it needs cleaned because it's got stick marks, and I think someone spilled beer on it. Stack, 16-inch medium thin crash on the Wuhan medium thin on the bottom that I put holes in, and a modified B8 China 14, and it's a great stack. It's articulate, but still trashy and staccato sounding, and it's not just a washy stack. It's like, I use it like a second hi-hat or for a stack, and it eats up sticks, but I love it. It's a workhorse. It gets a lot of work. 20-inch Wuhan China. Not much to say besides it's a badass China. 20-inch Chinas are perfect, well, 20 and above. And it's got a great stick sound, like I talk about. I like to ride the cymbals as well as crash them. And that's why I have it angled, so you can, but the older it gets, the better it sounds. I've had it for 3 years now. 22-inch linear smash crash. This thing's just an ocean of noise. I love it. And it sounds great for a little chain ring. I got a homemade cup chime on both of these that I cut down from old broken cymbals. I got a bell. Pro remote hi-hat stand because it allows me to get my hi-hats where I want. Access 6 longboards. Like I said, a mix of Mapex and stuff. Hardware. My ride position, we'll talk about that first. I used to play, a low down traditional ride. But then one day, I think just for shits and giggles, I was like, I'm going to try that 80s position, high and angled. And I found I really liked it. And it's perfect for me. Because I was really hurting my arm with it low for some reason. And just the way my body's built, this just works perfect. It is just right in front of me, right where I need it. And I know a lot of people are like, ugh, that ride position. It's perfect for me. And in my tom setup, I based my kit around a feel of a 4-piece because for a long time I had that Mickey Mouse setup, the 2 toms in front of you. But then for like 2 months, this was like 2 years ago, I think, I found that I made myself play a 4-piece just to focus more on groove and less on feel. And I found I really liked it. And when I went back to the big kit, I missed that feel so much and I wanted it. So I kept the feel. So, I based my kit around the hi-hat and ride, but then these 4 drums are the most important part. Like this is the most important. So what I did is as inspired by Pat Torpey and Neil Peart and Bill Ward, I put the tom out this way. At first I had it the same height as a 13, but I'm too short for that. So I found doing a Neil Peart thing and angling a little bit allows me to have it right where I need, and then I have my floor tom over here, and the setup is just perfect. Rock and sock throne, a bell, like I said, a bell tree. I got coated G2s on all the toms, clear G1s on the bottom. Like I said, Evans EMAD, I got a GMAD clear on that without the foam ring because I found the foam ring muffles way too much of the attack for my liking. And an EMAD Rezo, and inside just a small black pillow. And that's my kit. Oh, and I use a Vader Power 5B sticks because those are the best damn sticks ever, and they're durable. I get it like a month out of a pair. Anyway, that's my kit.